Hey, what's going on, guys? Dropship Tyler here, and hopefully the video and audio sounds good. I need to probably turn up the mic a little bit, but yeah. So I'm doing this live because I got a question yesterday from somebody on it was either Facebook or Instagram, and they asked me, "Is I guess they asked me is $1,000 enough to start eBay dropshipping?" Let me just get the. I should have done this ahead of time, but I was excited to have something to actually talk about live. But yeah, basically, they messaged me saying that they were going to borrow some money from a friend or a family member. Okay, yeah. So it was when I was on the channel with, or when I was watching Rake and Profit last night. He saw me typing in there, and he said, "I'm on the verge of joining Sale Freaks with your link to get into your mentorship group. My question is, if I am borrowing the $1,000 to start this journey, how long should I tell my sponsor it will be to give them their money back? Give or take 3 months?" Question mark. And then I said, "Do you have the 5% cashback card? Why do you need to borrow $1,000 to start dropshipping?" And he said startup cost. And he said no on the cashback card. He can apply for one. And he said it's a family member lending him the money, no interest. And then I said, there aren't $1,000 in startup cost. And he just said, "Oh, I get it. This is a credit intensive model. Got it." So yeah, that was the gist of that conversation. But I'm a big fan of starting with basically no money and just working your way up, unless you have a good job, or you don't want to spend. If you're a quick learner, I guess, and you can take a course and just go right from there and take everything that you've learned and apply it right away. If you're that kind of person, I mean, sure, it's fine to invest a little bit of money up front in software and things like that. But I am a huge believer that anybody who gets into this business is one that has this pretty sick opportunity, unlike anything else online, to be honest, where you can literally start with $0. And I'm proving that right now in my $0 investment series that I've now made over $200 on, and I have literally not invested any money into it, except for yesterday. I did end up buying the basic store because I wanted to try out promoted listings and also some of the promotion stuff they have, where you can like buy one get one like 25% off, things like that. So I did buy a store yesterday. That was $7.99, I believe. But outside of that, I've put no money into that store, and I've been able to make over $200, and I haven't even really spent that much time on it. I did list a couple products yesterday and a couple products this morning, but I mean, outside of that, like, I don't understand why people, associate eBay dropshipping with startup cost. I'm not really sure, where they're seeing that idea. Yeah, there's like $300 courses out there that you can buy, but I mean, if you're gonna want to start with a course like that, then I guess that's your startup cost is $300 plus whatever software you want to use, to get that going. But again, you literally can start with no money, so don't think that you gotta have, like, this is an FBA where you have to put the money up front. As that person said, I mean, this is a credit intensive model unless you are not in PayPal jail at the beginning, and then you can take that money and you can buy your products, whatever. But the only startup costs are really going to be if you have, or not startup costs. They're not really, I mean, you just kind of have to, like, obviously use a credit card while your PayPal funds are being held. But I mean, yeah, you're getting the money, obviously. So, all right. So I want to look and see what some people have to say in the chat here. What's up, Patrick? Finally caught me on a live. Awesome. Ryziger. I don't want to get your name wrong. Ryziger. He says, "What's up, Tyler?" John H, what's up, man? Optimize Prime, Tyler, steady slanging videos. Why I love this channel 100. Yeah, sometimes I feel like, there's something I want to say, and I just decide to go live instead of schedule anything with it. But all right, so Carter says, good morning, playa. What's up, Carter? Jolene, hello. You finally caught me on one of the lives. Jolene actually was telling me in a comment on my last video that, oh, wow, we have a $9.99 super chat from Optimize Prime. Thank you. So, yeah, Jolene was telling me in my last video, she left a comment, and she said that the drop shipping model, she doesn't really get it. And maybe it's not that she doesn't get it, but she's trying a lot of different things, and it's not really going that well for her right now. And I told her to get on the lives and ask questions. I have a good feeling that if you go through all of my YouTube videos, you can understand a lot of what you need to know about eBay dropshipping. And even if you go back as far as when I first started, you can kind of understand. And when I first started YouTube, and that's something I'm actually like really disappointed about, that I didn't start YouTube sooner, because I would have loved to have like the moment I quit my job and like, the things that were going on in my head and like all of that at the time, so people could see that progression too. But I did start YouTube after I was already full-time. And, the month I started YouTube, I think that was like was it March or April? March was my biggest month ever on eBay. So I think it was in March that I started my YouTube. I made over $15,000 on eBay, like net profit that month. And no, it's not chocolate milk. This is actually coffee mixed with a little bit of skim milk. But anyway, yes. So I'm sorry. I see comments and I have to address them right away to stop any negative thoughts, thinking I'm drinking chocolate milk over here. But anyway, so if you start back from March, April, you can actually see the kind of progression that eBay's taken, or should I say regression, where old accounts are not being treated nicely anymore compared to new accounts. It used to be if you had an established account with lots of feedback and, good history, all of that, then you were going to be rewarded with more sales. Now it's like opening up a new account and starting fresh, you're going to get more sales. Like, it's just the way it is. And that's kind of what I'm seeing with my manual store right now, which is also why it's a good time to start with $0, because you're going to be able to build up a nice sum of profit first, and then you can use that money to start scaling, because you do need to scale bigger than before to make the same amount of money. Like, if you were making $5,000 a month with 10,000 items, in 2017, now you're going to need 25,000 items to do that same thing. So it's really, if you have an old account. So yeah, you really got to start thinking about scaling bigger on those older accounts, lowering the margins a little bit, and really just trying to sling some volume. But yeah, so anyway, let's see what else we got in the comments. Would you recommend just opening up a fresh credit card to use on a new store? I mean, you can use your fresh credit card, whatever. I have separate cards now, and this is something I'm glad I did in 2018, because I noticed there was a huge issue in 2017. I stopped spending, I have a personal credit card and debit card, and then I have like my business debit card and my business credit cards. So I believe I have like 5 or 6 business credit cards, and then just 2 personal credit cards. But yeah, so like I just keep everything separate. So accounting purposes, I know every single thing I spent on this credit card is business, and everything I spent on this credit card is personal. And that's helped me a lot this year for sure, especially with my bookkeeping and all of that. What is the best software for Amazon to eBay dropshipping? Without a doubt, that's SaleFreaks. And I want to talk about something with Amazon to eBay dropshipping as opposed to other sources when it comes to manual dropshipping. So what I'm preaching very hard right now to you guys is, if you're going to use a source that's like a source that's, selling and pricing the products themselves. So like on Amazon, for example, there's sellers like you and I who have FBA products, and they're just constantly playing with the prices. For that kind of game where they're either selling like products that, you know, maybe not are established yet, and they're trying to see what price point they want to sell it at, or they're just like experimenting with stuff. They want to get rid of inventory, or they don't have much inventory, so they raise the price because they know that, you know, it's supply and demand. They don't have that much and there's a demand, so they're going to raise the price, whatever. In that particular scenario, Amazon to eBay dropshipping is not the best option to do a manual store on. That's just a fact. Like if you think about it logically, you're playing, unless you're doing all sold by Amazon items. And even then, I'm sure their prices change a good bit, but you have to have a repricing software if you're going to do any type of large scale Amazon to eBay, in my opinion. Other sources, you might be able to get away with it, such as like Walmart, if the items are sold by Walmart, which I don't recommend buying anything that's not sold by Walmart on walmart.com. But yeah, I really like the Walmart brands on walmart.com. You can get away with doing manual dropshipping from Walmart and not having to have a repricer tool. And like, I guess Home Depot too, maybe Lowe's, you know, some of the bigger box retail stores. They're just not going to change their prices as much, to be honest. And one thing I try to avoid on my manual store right now is I try to avoid listing items that are on rollback or clearance. And if I do that, then I'm going to make a note of it in my spreadsheet. Because I don't have SKU Grid fully set up and running yet. That's on my my list to do right here, is get SKU Grid fully set up. But yeah, so I don't have SKU Grid fully set up yet for the file exchange repricing. So anything that's clearance or rollback likely might go out of stock. Prices might go up if it's a rollback. You know, if it's clearance, it might go out of stock and never come back in. So you just never know. So I avoid those items when I'm manually dropshipping also. And originally I was going to have this live stream be about like ask me anything about my manual dropshipping store. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, since that is what I'm talking about, the starting with a $0 investment, you guys can ask those questions. Yeah, live your protest. He says, let's smash that like button. Yeah, guys, I'd appreciate if you would you'd click like on this. Again, we have Joe Wadford. Oh man, Joe Wadford. I didn't even realize that was you, bro. I did not realize that is one of my fraternity brothers, which is pretty crazy. Found my channel. Thanks, Joe. I'll have to message you after if you're not on still. Tyler, when is Sale Freaks going to be available for Walmart? That's supposed to be coming in January, February. Brian says, howdy, howdy. What's up, man? Big Wake Outriggers. What's going on? If I'm international and don't use Sale Freaks, can I make success on dropshipping? Of course. You don't have to use any particular software. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you guys you can't do dropshipping without Sale Freaks. I just think, in my opinion, if you're going to do large scale dropshipping from Amazon right now, then Sale Freaks is the best software out there. How have your sales been since last time you talked about it? So my sales have been slow the past 3 days, and I do have a PayPal graph that, you know, I sent to one person in my mentor group. Her name's Claire. She messaged me and she was like, Tyler, help. I only have 10 sales when I used to do 100. And I'm just like, wow, that's ridiculous. First of all, that you drop, you know, 90% whatever of your sales. But I showed her my PayPal graph, and I showed my buddy's PayPal graph, who has been doing this a lot longer than me. He sent me his PayPal graph. We both, and my Amazon sales, both of us, Joe and I, we had huge dips last year. Mine was on the 19th, his was on the 18th. So like I had a huge day on the 18th last year, and then the 19th, it just like fell off completely. And it fell off for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then sales started picking back up again. January was actually really good for me last month on Amazon and eBay. But if you look at last year, or not last year, like 2018 January. So yeah, almost a year ago. That was really good for me. But December towards the end was not that great, to be honest. And actually last year on Amazon, I cut my store off for 3 days around Christmas time so that, my VAs could have a break. And it was just one person was coming in and basically doing customer service, and that's it. But yeah, so we cut our stores off on Amazon. eBay, I have the data and it shows that it's really slow. Amazon, I don't have any data for last year except for the days leading up to the time I cut my store off, which I believe it was like the 23rd through the 26th that the store was off. So the days leading up to that, though, from the 18th to that were low. So yeah, it's no doubt about it that it's not just eBay. It's in a seasonal thing, in my opinion. The marketplace seems flooded with different software to use. I know you love Sale Freaks, however, it's costly, especially per item cost to other softwares. Have you tried all the different softwares out there? So yeah, I've tried a lot of different softwares out there, to be honest. When I first started, I was basically just one of those people that just like went to the next shiny thing, and I just tested as much stuff as I could. And I talked to a lot of people who all use different software. And I know for a fact that, everyone who you're probably watching on YouTube, they all probably use different softwares. And that's kind of what makes each channel a little bit unique, is we're all doing different softwares, but we're all seeing success. So obviously software does not play a huge role in it, but it is easiest, in my opinion, to get started with Sale Freaks and scale with Sale Freaks if you're doing the Amazon to eBay arbitrage. How long do you have to be in PayPal jail before your funds become readily available? See, I never was in PayPal jail. That's never happened to me. But so I've heard that, if you upload tracking and all of that, or I know for a fact if you upload tracking and the item gets delivered, you're going to get your money quicker, right? But in general, I think if you're just talking about having that hold off completely, I think it's like 3 months, to be honest. And I actually got my only hold. So I take it back about the PayPal jail. I was never in like full PayPal jail. Any item I sold that was over $200, maybe $250, over $200, they were holding some of the funds. So actually on those transactions, maybe they were holding all of the funds. So PayPal kind of tiered me as, kind of probably low risk for those lower price items. But obviously, I had to gain some history with the higher price items before PayPal would start releasing the funds. What is the 5% cashback card? So the 5% cashback card, if you go on Amazon.com, they have two different cards. One of them is a Sync Bank card, and the other one is a Chase Prime card. The Chase Prime card is way better. There's way more power behind it in terms of you being able to pay off the credit card on a daily basis, and then funds are available pretty much the next day. I do know some people that are now experiencing holds on that Chase card. So maybe they have to call in or they have to wait 4 or 5 days before the payment clears. For me, that Chase card, I can make a $20,000 payment on it. That's my credit limit on it right now. If I max out the credit limit, make a $20,000 payment on it, my funds are pretty much available the next day. On the Sync Bank card, I've got a $10K credit limit. So what I actually do for that particular card is I actually get a balance on there, and then you can schedule payments. So I'll get a balance of, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, whatever, and I'll make a payment for like today, and then I'll go in and schedule a payment for tomorrow and the next day and the next day, all of $6,000 whatever dollars that the balance is, if I want to use that card more frequently. So that way, as I'm spending, the payments are automatically being on there and being processed. That's a trick with the Sync Bank card. But yeah, I want to say it's a simple link. Like, I guess if you just Google Amazon cashback card, just see this. So yeah, if you Google the Amazon rewards card, if you're Prime, it's 5%. If not, then it's 3%. So yeah, that's that. And all right, so Let's see. Did you end up getting tax exempt for all the states? If so, how are you handling the monthly filing? Yeah, Patrick, I am. And I actually am using taxjar.com. That's how I found out what sites, excuse me. That's where I found out what states I actually needed to get the certificates in because I had economic nexus or just, if I had regular nexus, there's 8 states on walmart.com that you have to get additional certificates for. So I got those certificates. Yeah, but I'm not shipping anything to Hawaii, so I didn't, you don't need the Hawaii certificate, but the other ones, yeah, like Florida, Virginia, New York, God, I can't think, California. What are the other ones? Tennessee. I can't name them all off the top of my head. I feel like I did a pretty good job, but yeah, those are the ones on Walmart. So should you file for LLC? Yeah, you don't need an LLC to start, but definitely get one eventually. And I recommend getting a bookkeeper, someone who can guide you in the right direction on what kind of actual business to start in terms of the structure for what you're doing. Jashawn says, I can't set up automatic payments in eBay. I would have to look at your account to see. No to Yo Flipper says, good morning all. Good morning. Love the consistent content, Ty. You think you'll continue to upload at this rate or start to taper down a little bit? David, I'm just getting started. I'm here to help, man. And like, honestly, with this studio, I was telling like Ty and Win on the live or one of my comments or something that I was going to get this other piece of equipment to, reduce the wind in the microphone and maybe get a better mic and whatever. And I was like, my YouTube hobby is getting expensive. And, and he was like, well, maybe it won't be a hobby for too much longer, winky face. So yeah, I'm seeing like $10 a day in ad revenue on YouTube, which is pretty cool. And then obviously, it helps me with the course and everything like that. So I really like doing the YouTube videos. And yeah, and I guess it eventually, like everything that's in this studio will be paid back. But for now, I'm trying to get as much use out of it as I can, because otherwise I feel like an idiot having a full room dedicated to a YouTube studio and me not doing anything with it. So I like having the consistent content for sure. Sorry for the long-winded explanation there. Could you do a video on how to get tax exempt? All right. So there was a guy who left me a super chat last week. His channel name is Dropshipping is a Way of Life. I checked out his channel. I didn't get a chance to watch his videos because I checked it out last night, like right before I went to bed. And I saw he had 3 videos on there, but one of them was titled about getting tax exempt. And because he left me a super chat, and on the next live, I don't know if you guys knew about this, but the last live I did, I put Post-it notes up for the top 4 super chats of that live. And so I'm putting the Post-it notes on for the scheduled lives because I feel like the people that, come to those Wednesday lives and leave super chats, they want to make sure that they're getting the most exposure as possible for their channel. So yeah, anyway, he's going to be right here on the next live. Dropshipping is a Way of Life. It was his channel name. Go check it out. Like I said, I didn't watch the video, so I really don't know. But I'm just saying the title of the video was about getting tax exempt. So I'm just saying probably, go check that out. But yeah, if you guys didn't know that, on the Wednesday lives, top 4 people that leave super chats will get shout outs and all of that. I love super chats. I love giving them and I love receiving them. Obviously, I think it's fun and I love shouting people out. And so I felt like that was a fun way to do it. For those of you guys that know, I'd leave other people super chats a lot on their channels, and it's to try to gain exposure. So yeah, so anyone who wants to do that, I mean, that's just something fun you can do on the next live. But I appreciate the super chat from Optimize Prime on this live. Really appreciate it. Jeremy says, what's up, Dropship or DT? So I'm guessing that's Dropship Tyler. But yeah, what's up, man? How you doing, Jeremy? Jeremy's in the mentorship group. Never misses a live. Appreciate that. Tyler, is there another software that you can use for bulk listing besides Sale Freaks? Yeah, there's lots of them out there. again, I see, here's the thing, guys. I'm not trying to call anyone out, but there's some YouTubers out there who literally their videos are only about software. Like, and if you notice, every single one has an affiliate link to the software in there. And to me, that's pretty much a red flag when they're not being consistent on what software they actually are promoting or, you know, using, or maybe they are being consistent with the software they're using themselves. But the thing is I only have, like, for the last year and a half, I guess, I've only used SaleFreaks and I've been successful with it. So why would I, you know, try to tell you guys to use a different software? And I've been approached by lots of other softwares now that they've seen my channel growing, and you know they're telling me, oh yeah, we'll pay you to get on your channel, and you know you can be an affiliate and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I don't use your software. Like, there's no point in me getting on there. It doesn't matter to me, you know, like I'm not going to be able to have any good advice for anybody about how to use the software, the settings, anything like that, because I mean, I guess I could learn, but what's the point? I mean, I use SaleFreaks and I also have a manual dropshipping store. So those are the two things that I'm going to teach are SaleFreaks and starting with a $0 investment manual dropshipping store. So if, yeah, you guys ask about other softwares and things, I have used DSM Tool. I've used EasyNC, tried out PriceYak. What other ones did I use? I don't know. SKUGrid, I've used a lot of them, but SKUGrid I like for the manual stores now. Oh, I can't even remember how many I used at the beginning. Literally every single one that was out 6 months ago. There's been a lot of different softwares since then, but yeah, I'm just until SaleFreaks doesn't work for me anymore, I'm not gonna switch to anything different. David says, my $20 super chat wasn't for exposure. It's because you're the man. Appreciate that, David. Appreciate it, man. All right, so let me see here. I've never been in PayPal jail, and I just started dropshipping. Yeah, so one of the things I want to say about PayPal jail for those of you guys that are just starting, if you have other businesses that have involved PayPal in the past, or maybe you've had a PayPal account for a while, it's unlikely you're actually going to be in that PayPal jail. For me, in college, I had this business where at the end of every semester for like 2.5 years, I believe 2.5 years, I worked for this book buying company. And what I did is I went around campus and I bought textbooks. I hired people to work under me for commission. And, you know, if I was getting 15%, I'd give them half and they get half, whatever. But they were sending me tens of thousands of dollars through PayPal. And before that, I was involved in the poker community a lot. And, you know, I was doing a lot of transactions, trading money and things like that with people on PayPal before that. So I just never felt like I was in PayPal jail because I was dealing with such large transactions before that. So if you have a business that, you know, exclusive, you didn't get skipped. I'm coming back to you. Don't worry. I got distracted. All right. So yeah, but if you have a business that's dealt with PayPal before, it's less likely you're going to be in PayPal jail. Or you just got lucky. I don't know. Also, what level eBay store do you have? David says, I saw their premium store is about $29.99 a month. Do you build yourself up to that level once your listings get up there? No, because the issue is nowadays, the Vero is so strict, the verified rights owner program, that if you look at a guy like Jack Pittman, if you've ever seen his channel, the reason that he does not dropship on eBay anymore from his main store is because it got suspended because he had 100,000 items on there and he was blindly listing products. The SaleFreaks filter for Vero is very good. It's probably, honestly, it's the best in the industry because of all of the listings that they have in their system and every time somebody gets a Vero violation, that Vero is automatically added to the SaleFreaks system and like the filter. So for me, you know, I think SaleFreaks does a good job for my store, but I do get Vero violations, right? Jack Pittman was using, I want to say like maybe HydroLister or AutoDS or something. I don't know. I know he promotes AutoDS, but yeah, he was using one of those. And their Vero filters just are not as big as sale freaks because they don't have as many users and as many items in their system. So he got enough Vero warnings where he got his account indefinitely suspended. So there you go. That's why I'm not going to try to get to 100,000 items. Eventually, my goal was to do that eventually, but I was going to create multiple stores. But now eBay seems like they're a little bit sensitive with building stores too quickly. And that's a recommendation for you guys just starting to, build your store up slowly. Don't try to just, if you have 1,000 item limit, don't list 1,000 items in the first day. Don't do that. List 20 to maybe 30 items a day on your store and build it up. I know it's exciting when you're getting a lot of sales at first, but you gotta be patient. I mean, that's all it is to it. All right. So Exclusive says, but what if I can't qualify for the Amazon credit card? If you can't qualify for the Amazon credit card, it's gonna be harder. It's still possible, but I mean, think about it. If you're doing $100,000 in sales or product cost a month, so if you're doing like $120,000 in sales a month and you got $100,000 of products that you've bought, that's $5,000 in credit card cashback right there that you're missing out on. That's just an example. I mean, I know people that are doing $200,000 in product cost a month. So imagine, getting $10,000 back a month just by having a certain credit card. But I would say, try to get a family member involved or a business partner or something. And, you offer them a percentage of the cashback every month and they don't have to do anything. That's better than not getting the 5% cashback card at all. Sold about 50 items and I've been able to release the funds immediately. David says, yeah, that was the PayPal jail question. So Marty Millie says, hi, Tyler. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Question. If you have separate eBay accounts, do you need separate PayPal or you link different shops to one PayPal? Yes, you can link multiple shops to one PayPal. The thing about having multiple eBay accounts, you can't list the same item across multiple stores if they're linked together. So I know people that do have stealth accounts. I don't do that personally. I keep everything like real clean and, maybe for Amazon one day I'll do that. But for eBay, I like to keep it, everything like on the same PayPal. I've only had one account suspended ever on eBay. And they basically told me that, sorry, my girlfriend just walked in. 1 second. I just had to make sure that things were going to stay quiet while I did this live. But anyway, so where was I? If you have separate eBay accounts, do you need separate PayPal or can you link? Yes. So we were talking about that. So you can't have multiple items or you can't have the same item on multiple accounts, but you can have multiple accounts. And I've only had one eBay account. It wasn't really like suspended. They just told me that I guess the account wasn't necessary or something. And that was like a few months ago. And so I've opened up a new store since and I'm doing fine with it. But just don't open up too many stores too quickly. Like build one up, move on, build one up, move on, and only do 20 to 30 listings a day, like I said. My mic is a little different now. It's because I changed the volume, I guess. Tell me, David, if it sounds good now. I'd appreciate any feedback. So Exclusive says, got it. That's the only reason why I haven't started. Still working on fixing my credit from trying to survive in college. Yeah, I totally understand. So when I first started, I had a $5,000. I didn't have any credit issues or anything, but I only had $5,000 credit limit. And so obviously when I switched over to Amazon, I mean, it's pretty amazing. Like this morning, I literally just made a $90,000 payment on my or $85,000 payment on my American Express card. It's crazy how I went from having a $5,000 credit limit to having, $125,000 or $130,000 of credit limit in just since the time that I've started dropshipping. You can build your credit up really quickly. And that's something that Matt Gambrell was talking about in the Rake and Profit show yesterday. He was saying how he has an American Express card that literally has like $1 million of credit on there. So imagine what he can do with an Amazon business and not having to use payability and things like that. For those of y'all that are, you know what that is. Yeah, it's wild. Credit is definitely king in this business, in dropshipping. The better credit you have, the better you're going to be with dropshipping. And that honestly, guys, that's like what's really tough when I talk to a lot of people. You know, there's a lot of people who are searching for ways to make money online because of their current situation is just not that great. Financially, for me, it was more about, you know, the freedom aspect of not working the desk job. But there's a lot of people who just need help with what they're, you know, maybe they're in debt. You know, maybe they're disabled or something like that, right? And that's really hard for me when I talk to those people who are starting from, you know, they're not starting at ground zero. They're starting below the ground, basically, with the business and having to dig their way out of a hole and, you know, then be on the same level as everybody that, you know, starts and has good credit and has, you know, a little bit of money and a good job and everything like that. So yeah, if you're one of those people, I mean, you just got to work harder and make sure that you're staying on point with everything. One of the most important things that I can tell you is this business is a lot easier if you have a solid job going when you start, because then it allows you time to be patient and it allows you the time to actually, you know, be able to see results. And, you know, you're not going to get frustrated in the beginning and think, all right, this isn't working for me. I needed money quicker. You know, that's probably one of the biggest issues I see with dropshipping is people get so even people that are making $1,500, $2,000 a month, you know, they get impatient because they're just like, I can't make a full-time living out of this. So, you know, whatever. And yeah, I mean, there's no guarantees in this business, A, and B, it takes time. And the biggest thing is and I preach this a lot too, when you start eBay dropshipping, have a goal in mind of I'm going to do Amazon dropshipping eventually, or, you know, I'm going to do FBA eventually. This is literally for me to make money to invest in other areas of business and just keep growing your different businesses. eBay is the easiest business to start. As I said, you know, at the beginning of this video, $0. That's how much money you need to invest to start eBay. There's not many opportunities out there like that, guys. Like really, there aren't. It's pretty amazing. So use eBay as a way to gain entrepreneurial, you know, knowledge and figure out different ways you can take what you've learned from eBay and grow it into other things as well. You know, this should not be the end goal, should not be to be a professional eBay dropshipper for life. Like, I'll say that to you right now. Like, that's something that a lot of you need to understand is I have no intention on being a professional dropshipper my entire life. I want it to be a side business for other things in the future. I mean, it's my main income right now, but in the future, I really, you know, am looking to take what I'm making in dropshipping right now and all the things I've learned from dropshipping, the organizational skills, hiring people, all of that, take that into something else. I don't know what it is, but, you know, I'm actively always in that mindset of, all right, like I'm an entrepreneur. Let's see what else is out there. What other, you know, income streams can I add, etc. But for those of you that are just starting, you got to focus on one thing at a time. And I think eBay is a great place to start. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Let's say you list 50 items today. You've done your research. They should be good sellers. They don't sell. When do you delete the listings and start over? So yeah, I delete the listings every 30 days, like right before it renews. So my opinion on that, if you list 50 items and they don't sell, delete them after 30 days and list a new item to take its place so that you don't have to pay that insertion fee for an item that's not selling. Another thing is that if you have the ability to make back-end profit using cashback sites, gift cards, things like that, and you don't care about a front-end margin as much, lower the price. I mean, sure, start the price off at like 10% profit margin if you want to. For Amazon to eBay dropshipping with Sale Freaks, I recommend starting products at a 4% profit margin on the front end. And then, after 15 days, if the item doesn't sell, you can lower that profit margin down. And I recommend doing the same for pretty much any source. So David it sounds like David's been having a lot of success. So he also says, also been able to raise listing limits on eBay very easily. They tell me I had to wait a month before raising limits again, but I called back to back 2 days later and got it raised again. Pretty simple. David says, I'm currently at my desk job getting nothing done because of you. My company isn't grateful for you as I am. What's funny is I was talking to some people about this. In terms of minutes watched, I have like 1 million minutes watched almost on my YouTube channel now. And I was just thinking about, obviously it's a great use of time for a lot of people who are willing to take the action. But at the same time, I do think about the people that are watching this stuff at like work or, whatever, and how many man hours have been not like lost for the company, but not lost for you guys, of just watching, YouTube content. And not even just my channel. I mean, I'm a small channel. I'm talking about like really big channels. I mean, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of years of man hours gone from some people's channels. Like look at a guy like, PewDiePie or someone who's got like 77 million subs and probably gets millions of minutes watched a day. It's crazy. Sweet, Susan. So eBay sent her a message and gave Susan 200 free listings with no insertion fees. That happens to me a lot on my my new store. They are always trying to get me to. They're always trying to get me to keep listing more items, and it's kind of funny. So yeah, they keep sending me promotions like that. Like I had one for 500 free listings, no insertion fees, and it was when I had like 12 items. So they just obviously want me to list more and more products. All right, Jolene says, can you please look at my store and tell me what I'm doing wrong? Sure, Jolene, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. My Facebook is Dropship Tyler. Instagram is Dropship Tyler. Instagram is going to be a lot better for me to answer than Facebook. So yeah, send me a message on Instagram at Dropship Tyler, and I will look at your store name, Jolene, and see what's going on with it. David says eBay is amazing, great stock to buy too, in my opinion. I think eBay is a great platform, but I also think that currently they're doing a lot of stuff wrong. Like what's the point of making new stores so much higher in the search ranking compared to old stores? If you think about it, newer stores are going to probably have, I don't want to say like, everyone who's new to selling is going to have worse customer service, but they're going to need eBay's help a lot more in terms of knowing what to do. Because I know I used to call eBay merchant support all the time and ask them about situations and whatnot. And I haven't talked to eBay merchant support in a while, except about any issues. Yesterday I did call them, or 2 days ago I did call them, and I just asked about, the drop in sales and all of that. This was before I talked to Joe and looked at my PayPal things from last year, my PayPal graphs from last year and stuff. I asked about the drop in sales, and they did seem to think it was seasonal. But yeah, outside of that, I haven't called any eBay about anything. I used to call them like religiously on a daily basis and get all of my returns closed out and all of my cases closed out. Like the returns that the people didn't ship the items and their time had expired, you can actually call eBay merchant support to go ahead and get that return closed in your favor so that, the person can't return it. But yeah, so I used to do that all the time. Now I just don't worry about it. Dropshipping is a way of life is here. Dropshipping is a way of life. You missed it, man. I gave you a shout out earlier about going and checking out your channel. Obviously you notice I don't have your Post-it note up here from the live super chat, but I said that on Wednesdays, that's when the Post-it notes are going to go up. All right. So Optimus Prime says he keeps getting those messages about the free insertion fees. Yeah. I feel like eBay doesn't like drop shipping. I think they want people posting real items they have themselves. Could be wrong, but that's what it seems on eBay. So I actually talked to the merchant support about this also. He was telling me that this whole thing kind of started at eBay Open, and this is very interesting. I don't know if he was actually supposed to tell me this or not, but he actually told me that this whole thing started at eBay Open when, like, not the CEO, not Devin, but one of the guys that's like second in Devin. So one of the executives, on the executive board, he actually ordered something from eBay, I guess, to test the eBay experience. And when he ordered it from eBay, the Amazon invoices were in the box, like the gift receipts were in the box. So that's actually an interesting story. And I've never heard anyone talk about that before, but apparently that's when the whole company decided to take this stance on not killing dropshipping, but trying to sell more items that are actually like, physical inventory rather than being dropshipped. So yeah, that's a really interesting story. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that. Like I said, I've never heard anyone else talk about that on their channel. So yeah, the guy was just mad that he got dropshipped on. And so from that point on, I guess they started implementing they started making a plan of action, I guess, from that point. And they took action in April. And, they said, well, they probably said, we're gonna not limit. Well, they are limiting dropshippers. Obviously, if you have more items and lower your margins, you're going to get more sales. But yeah, they're just putting us back in the ranking a little bit more. But as I've seen and as I've done personally, you can still grow the flagged eBay accounts. And for the people out there that are telling you that there aren't flagged dropshipping accounts, those people are lying to you. Like I'm 99.9% sure that there's flagged dropshipping accounts. But yeah, you can still grow them and you can still make money. And I'm going to keep pushing eBay to you guys. And, I'm going to keep running my eBay stores as long as I'm making money doing it. The day that I stop making money from eBay, I mean, you'll probably hear me just bashing eBay and what they did and all of that. So, but again, to reduce your risk of, something like that happening where eBay just completely turns off the faucet, start eBay dropshipping right away, right now, start taking action, and then move into Amazon and then move into other business ventures. So it's like there is a path there, And hopefully, from what I've talked to with a lot of people that have connects inside of eBay and things like that, there is a very good possibility that eBay is going to have to take a different stance on dropshipping in the future. They're going to have to stop limiting the search ranking of dropshippers, or they're just going to have to eventually say, we don't want dropshippers on our platform at all. I don't think that's going to happen because right now their stock is down. They can't afford any lost revenue. So they're not gonna do that option. They're not gonna kill off dropshipping. There's just too much inventory out there that eBay wouldn't have if it wasn't for retail dropshippers. I'm talking like millions of items. And so yeah, that's just it is what it is. My Walmart cart got stuck, so I had to place an order on the phone. They gave me $15 off of a $23 product and sent me a coupon for next an additional $15 off. Dang, Susan's got the tricks. That's awesome. She got $15. She got $30 for free from Walmart, basically, just because her cart got stuck. That's incredible. I've gotten coupons like that before from different retail sites. Amazon is really known to give you discounts and credits and all of that, when you have issues on their site. So a lot of times, my virtual assistants will go in and say, hey, and this is like, I'm just relaying the message from the buyers, and, hey, there's a chip in this, or, hey, it's missing a screw, or, something like that. And they'll just give us a $10 credit, like no problem. And then we can do a partial refund to the customer. And maybe even for less than what Amazon gave us, if we can work that out with the customer. So Yeah, the retail sites are definitely just like us, where we want to work with the customers and make them happy. The retail sites want to do that even more. So Brian Chill says scam. Why? What's a scam? Who's scamming? I'd like to hear what exactly the scam is about. I'm waiting for Brian to explain exactly what part he's talking about. Has an Asus laptop. So anyway, I don't get what's wrong with my laptop. I like my laptop. It's very compact. It's fast. It works well with the computer. It's actually, I bought it originally to play poker on, like a couple years ago, I guess. And from there, I just haven't, because it was a gaming computer. The Asus is a gaming computer, I guess. I have a MacBook also, but for this, I prefer to use the Asus. And he says Asus is very, very cheap brand, unreliable. I haven't had any issues with it yet. But one thing I do think that's possible is I talked to Paul J. Lipsky. And for those of you guys that know, he actually, for Noah's channel, he actually has the same setup I do with the Canon M50 that I just bought. But he has, I'll read this comment in a little bit. That's hilarious. So the Canon M50 on his computer looks so much better. And I think it's because he uses MacBook Pro. And like I said, I have a MacBook Pro as well. But I don't know. I felt like it was just too hard to switch everything. And also, I like to use Excel. And having Excel on a PC and being able to do certain things with VBA, which is the coding that runs Excel, that's why I prefer a PC to a Mac, because I'm able to do a lot more with business on a PC than a Mac. And I also have it's like a 32-inch monitor or something. It's crazy. It's this big. So if you guys have seen that on my other videos, I like the fact that you don't have to pay a couple $1,000s for just a Mac monitor, and I can just hook that directly into my computer and have a huge monitor. But sorry, Brian, that you think it's a scam that I have an Asus. Apologize, man. I'll do better next time. So anyway, and I might take your advice. I might look at other PC computers. If you've got a suggestion, Brian, for a different type of computer than an Asus that's a PC, then I would definitely take that into consideration. So let me know, Brian, if you have any suggestions, and I would appreciate that. So HP, but what exactly HP would you use? So Sully says, I don't have a straw in my glass, and so it's a scam. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm exposing myself here with my Asus and my coffee, my iced coffee that I made at home. Anyway, back to the questions. Drink looks like mud. All right, so it's skim milk and coffee combined together. The mic I'm using is an Insignia, but I'm also actually getting a Yeti, I believe. And when I went to Best Buy, they told me the mic was as good as a Yeti, but I don't think so. So I might have to get a Yeti. I don't know. All right, so let's get back to actual dropshipping questions. All right. Success with Sully says it has more to do with the lens. Yeah, maybe I need a better lens on my camera. And sorry, guys, for those of you who are watching, I wanted to address Brian's question and just see his thoughts on everything, because that's interesting to me. He's honestly probably the first person that's come in here and just blatantly tried to troll me. So I don't mind. It's kind of funny. So yeah, I saw a bunch of people left during the live when he started talking, and I started talking to him. But again, it's literally, he's like the first person to come in here and blatantly troll. And just, yeah. So I had to talk to him. So Kieran asked, how's the live stream going? It's going well. It's going well. Should I make a business account or a personal account? I'm starting off on eBay. So I mean, honestly, what I do is I use my business, my EIN for to verify the account with eBay, and I always get bigger limits on accounts when I make new accounts. Patrick Allen says, I had a PayPal account go bad. Unfortunately, that PayPal email is listed as the purchasing email on one of my eBay selling accounts. Should I remove that PayPal email? Yeah, I would. I mean, if you, I honestly, I don't have any advice on that, Patrick, because like, it seems to me like if the PayPal is going bad or has gone bad, like PayPal suspended you or limited you, and you open up a second PayPal, I'm not sure if PayPal will see that those stores were connected or not. I'd have to get some advice from somebody who actually did that. Again, I don't like to give advice. I don't like to give advice on things that. And Brian says dropship takes about $3,000 in time to get started, or yeah, it takes $0 to get started. Monetary, but there is value to time, obviously, and that it does take time to get started. And most of the passive, and nothing in business I've realized is really like 100% passive unless you hire out somebody to do everything for you. In dropshipping, you're always going to have to be involved some way. So when I say passive, I mean like semi-passive. Most of the semi-passive income that you make is going to be from the work that you put in for the first few months of doing this, not really making any much money at all. Except nowadays, I kind of think that's not true, because you're making a lot of money because the new accounts do so much better than the older accounts. So I know people that are just starting and they list a few hundred items and they're making $500 plus their first month, which is insane because they never would have been able to do that in 2017. Yeah, Patrick, 25% profit margin to start is fine. You can go higher if you want. Ginny, I asked Ginny a question earlier. All right, I'm gonna finish answering. Patrick, I always get distracted. So when 25 cents is fine to start, and that's if you have the cashback card. If you don't have the cashback card, you're gonna need to find ways to make a higher margin. And especially if you're doing open box items, those settings need to be completely different than your new items. And for those of you guys that don't know about open box, search my YouTube channel, watch my videos. I talk about it a lot. You're selling from the Amazon warehouse deals and you're making higher margins. For those, I would recommend putting a $2 minimum margin. So if you and also a 10%, and you can move it all the way down to 6%. So if you're selling something $20, you're going to be making $2 anyway on the 10% margins. So it doesn't, obviously the minimum profit margin doesn't really apply to the higher priced items, but yeah, for the lower ones. All right, so Ginny says spot and paste. All right, so the reason I asked this, guys, is because right now I have 3 stores. And I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about my setup on the ACES here, the one that Brian thinks is a scam, that I try to sound like I make a lot of money with drop shipping, yet I have an ACES. I don't know if you guys saw that for them just joined us, but anyway, on my ACES, I have Firefox, Internet Explorer, and Google Chrome. So for the Internet Explorer and Google Chrome, I guess I have to switch it around. I have 3 stores right now, the 1 manual and the 2 that are with Sale Freaks. And the 2 that are with Sale Freaks are on my Google Chrome and Internet Explorer. They're always logged in, so I don't have to log out and log back in. This is just me being kind of lazy. And then on my manual store, I actually have that on Firefox, which is, everyone thinks is a crappy browser, but I don't need any like Chrome extensions or anything right there, or anything like that yet for it. So yeah, I just I just wanted to know if Spot and Paste was available on Firefox so I didn't have to switch my stores around and change my passwords, like my saved passwords around to each one. I know that sounds lazy as hell, but that's just how I am. All right. So I'm curious, Brian, are you talking about the ASUS being a scam or me being a scam when you say I just don't want people getting scammed? Because I don't want people getting scammed either. And if the ASUS is that bad of a computer, then I guess we need to do more research, and I need to maybe not show the brand of the computer when I'm doing my lives. What is the reason for the different browsers, Patrick? It's because I'm lazy and I don't like to log out and log back into different accounts on different browsers. I mean, obviously I could, but I'm just saying it's my personal preference. All right. But Jenny does say she has the same ASUS, so that's good to know. And she's a software developer, so as long as she says it's good, then that's good. All right, guys. I think honestly, my camera might die soon. This happened to me in my live last night or 2 nights ago, where my battery died. And I appreciate all 51 of you guys being here that are here right now. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that like button before you leave, I would appreciate it before we sign off here. Hoping to get to 35 likes. Oh, the Instinct Reyes says, hey, skip my name or win $10. Say my name. That's weird. I don't understand why you want me to say your name. I'm not even going to say your name. If you had just said, hey, it's Sebastian. Oh, there, I said your name. But if you had just said, hey, it's Sebastian, what's up? I would have said your name right away. So you don't have to be weird about this. All right, guys, if you could hit that like button for me. I'm getting some weird comments in here. I'm ready to get out of here. Had my first troll in here. That was exciting. I don't mind addressing it, but I don't want to take away from the value of the videos too. So for those of you guys that are watching this, next time, success. Oh, he says, say my name, please. Success with Sully is in the house. I want to just give Success with Sully a shout out before I leave. Go watch his channel. The guy does manual dropshipping. Not sure if he has any videos yet, but it's kind of like signing up for an email list waiting for something to happen. Sign up and you'll get a notification as soon as he releases his first video. But yeah, again, I want to get to 30. I need 3 more likes before I get out of here, because I know that Brian already disliked my video. I haven't checked out my video yet, my dislikes versus likes, but I'm assuming Brian already disliked the video because of my ASUS. So I'm gonna need as many likes as possible to cancel out that one dislike that Brian. Oh no, someone unliked it. Let's see. Or either that or people don't want me to leave. All right, so Sal Blanco says, what's up, Tyler? Any more questions before we leave here? Because I'm one away. Jenny Spotton liked. Thank you, Jenny. I'm one away. Jenny Spotton liked. There you go. So I was trying to see. I actually don't have any dislikes on this video. I'm very shocked. I'm proud of you, Brian, for not leaving a dislike. Thank you. Oh, we're at 36 likes. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for – I know the last 5 minutes was very boring and very dumb, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me to the end. Appreciate all the likes on this video. Just remember that you can start dropshipping without any money, okay? Just don't be fooled into thinking that you have to spend all this money to get started on software or anything like that. I'm not trying to fool anybody by saying use Sale Freaks. That's for the people that have money, have a good job, have a little bit of income that they're already getting to want to invest in dropshipping, right? So I'm not changing my stance on using software. I do think software is important. But if you're just starting off and just learning about dropshipping and you want to get started with $0, you can. It's possible. So thanks, guys, for watching. Again, can't believe everyone stayed here till the end. Hope you guys have a great Friday. And if I don't do any more lives this weekend, Hope everyone has a great weekend, and maybe even I'm not going to do one before Christmas. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, take care.